Welcome back to another episode of Nature Aquariums TV, where today we're going to show you how to make cleaning your fish tank as easy as possible while doing a water change. But before we get on with our video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. And now, let's go clean some fish tanks. We get a lot of questions at our store here. How do we change water? We've gotten all sorts of things. See, these are some of the things that we've heard. People think that they have to remove their fish out of their fish tank to change water. No, you don't do that. You leave the fishies right there where they're at. They're okay with you going in their fish tank. Two, there's a common misconception that you have to scrub down your whole tank and clean it and disinfect it. That's really, really bad, guys. The fish, you can never use any chemicals to clean your fish tank. Three, they think it takes a lot of time and it's difficult, or how do they get the water out? Well, we're going to show you how it's super easy to do without impacting your fish. Now, there's a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need something, should have a net at home to pick up any floating debris. You should also arm yourself with some sort of scrubby brush, right? A scrubber or a scraper like this. You should have that in your arsenal because you want to clean that glass, make it look nice and clean. That's how you clean your aquarium. It's by scraping stuff off. The other thing is, follow me with, guys, there's a couple other cool things like these scrub pads. Always get anything that's aquarium safe related, because if you buy something at your supermarket, it may have chemicals meant to help cleaning, and they may put chemicals in there. They're not aquarium safe rated. Don't use them in your fish tank. Lastly, you're going to need something called a gravel vac. Okay, and this thing is what's going to help you clean your tank. And they come in a couple different styles. There's a very conventional, simple one like this by Python, or there's the ones that are self-starting, like by Aquatop, or there's also the type that comes with a squeeze bulb that you squeeze to start the suction, and that's by Fluval. So we're going to show you how to use these now in a second. You'll see how in a minute or so we're going to change water in our tank. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to go and do a little bit of a water change on this tank here. You're going to have one of three types of filters in your tank. You're either going to have a sponge filter like this, or you may have a hang-on filter, or you may have a canister filter. And I will tell you this, you should always try to, after you're done cleaning your tank, you should clean the glass first, right? Scrub up all the stuff, get into the silicone, make sure you don't scrape the silicone, you use that scrubby, or use a toothbrush. Get in there, you do that before you do your water change, because you want to lift up all those particulates. They'll be floating around. Leave your filters running. As soon as you're ready to change the water with the siphon, then you should turn off filters and also turn off your heaters, just in case you change too much water and the heater is exposed to air. You don't want that heater to shatter and break, okay? The same thing for these filters, the canister and the hang on the back. You should unplug them to make sure that they don't run dry. Your air sponge filter, that actually can stay on. It doesn't matter because it's air driven and there's nothing to break. In another video I'll show you, but a real quick tip for cleaning these sponge filters is grab a big Ziploc bag or any bag, put it under water, lift up your filter above, and then just squeeze the filter into the bag to clean it out and leave it back into your tank, and you take out that dirty water and you toss it out. So now we're going to start doing gravel vac. And to do that, I'm going to use a plain conventional gravel vac. This doesn't have any fancy valves, doesn't have a squeeze bulb. It's basically a tube with a hose. I'm going to show you how to get that siphon started. So first of all, you need to make sure that the tank is higher than your bucket. If your tank is here, your bucket should go on the floor, okay? Siphons will not work if the bucket is higher than your tank. That's rule number one. Rule number two, make sure that you have the other end of the hose fastened or secured inside the bucket. You don't want this to pop out while you're trying to start the siphon, because you will get your floor wet. So this is how we're going to start these. You put it in the water, you kind of fill it up with some water and let it start like this. And next thing you know, you have water coming out. That's how these work. In order to stop the water, you can either pinch the tubing like this if you need to move it from one side to the other or change buckets, or you just lift off. Now remember, there's always going to be water stuck in the tubing, so make sure that you kind of do one of these so it drains so you don't get your floor wet. The next type is what they call the self-starting type. And the way these work is they have a little valve. Usually it feels like a bead, a metal bead inside here. And this facilitates the start because I'm going to show you how easy that is done. Some of them come with a hose clip, which is very nice. The hose clip allows you to do that, clip it in place. And to start these, you put it in and you start doing an up and down motion. And you get water going. Now, for the gravel cleaning, if you have gravel non-planted, you just want to go in like this and let the gravel swirl inside the tube. And you're going to go and make sure that everything gets cleaned. If you got too much gravel floating or sand in your tube, just by pinching the hose, it stops the flow and all of it drops right back down. What you want to do is get in there and pull up any dirt, uneaten food, fish poop, all of that in there. Two, it's also good, you can wave it around some of the other areas and pick up any of the stuff that may be floating there. Now you're going to say, how do we do this if this is a planted tank and you have contra soil or any soil in there? Well, you're not going to go in there like that because you'll really destroy your scape. What you would do is either you have your hand that you would wave on top of the soil and pick up the detritus and broken leaves and things like that. And then since that gets picked up above the substrate, just vacuum the water and it's going to pick it up very nicely. Make sure that you don't disrupt the fish in the sense that if you see small fish getting sucked up, always have your hand here. You can pinch it and the fish will swim out of the tube. But fish are pretty smart. When they see this thing coming, they're going to get out of the way. Now these angels, they're so used to us doing water changes that they're not that afraid of them. Your fish are going to get used to doing these. You're going to say, how often should we do these? Well, we recommend that you do a 10% water change once a week. Really, we're not a fan of big water changes all at once. Always do it no more than 20% at any given time. If you ever have a bad issue or you medicated, you have a lot of stuff in there, you're better off doing 10% daily for a week, 5 days. Now you've done a 50%, but you've done over the course of 5 days than you are to try to change all 50% water in one shot. Other than that, guys, very simple. I'm going to recap. Scrub your glass, your silicone, make sure everything looks good before. Turn off your filters. Start the gravel vac. Clean and remove about 10% of your tank's waste. If it's really dirty, do it over a course of a couple of days and your fish are going to be happy and healthy. Once again, I want to thank you for watching videos like this. We appreciate your support. Remember to like, share, and subscribe below. And to see more videos like this, remember to watch my saltwater water change video. It's going to be featured here. And have a great day, guys.